Casting aside all restraint and already appearing in public as Hercules, the Emperor Commodus began giving gladiatorial shows in the Colosseum. He opened his time in the arena with a series of rather impressive, albeit excessive, displays of marksmanship, killing hundreds of exotic animals: deer, lions, leopards, elephants, ostriches. Even if his conduct was hardly becoming for an emperor, he did win the approval of the mob for his courage and his marksmanship. But when he came into the amphitheatre naked, took up arms and fought as a gladiator, the people saw a disgraceful spectacle. A nobly born emperor of the Romans, whose fathers and forebears had won many victories, not taking the field against barbarians or opponents worthy of the Romans, but disgracing his high position by degrading and disgusting exhibitions. In his gladiatorial combats, he defeated his opponents with ease, and he did no more than wound them, since they all submitted to him, but only because they knew he was the emperor, not because he was truly a gladiator.
Having succeeded the murdered Commodus, the Emperor Pertinax sought to bring order to the Roman Empire through financial reform and imposing discipline. He faced opposition from the Praetorians, who expected a huge accession bonus and did not like being told what to do by an emperor they had elevated. Such was the antagonism that on 28th March 193, 200 Praetorians invaded the palace. On learning this, Pertinax behaved in a manner that one will call noble or senseless. He went to meet the approaching band. One man leapt forward, exclaiming, "The soldiers have sent you this sword." Then his comrades no longer held back, but struck down their emperor. The soldiers cut off his head and fastened it on a spear, glorying in the deed. Thus did Pertinax come to his end. He failed to comprehend that one cannot reform everything at once, and that restoration of a state requires time and wisdom.
With the murder of Pertinax, the imperial throne was up for grabs. Didius Julianus hastily made his way to the camp, and standing at the gates of the enclosure, made bids to the soldiers for the rule over the Romans. Then ensued a most disgraceful business, and one unworthy of Rome. For just as if it had been in some market or auction room, both the city and its entire empire were auctioned off. The sellers were the ones who had slain their emperor, and the would-be buyers were Sulpicianus and Julianus, who vied to outbid each other. Sulpicianus would have won the day, the first to name the figure 20,000, had not Julianus raised his bid by 5,000 at one time. So the soldiers, captivated by this excessive bid, received Julianus inside and declared him emperor. 66 days later, on the 2nd of June 193, with Severus's army en route, the Senate and Praetorians turned on Julianus, passing sentence of death on the man who had bought the purple. His last words were reputedly, "But what evil have I done? Whom have I killed?"
His had been a militarily successful and costly reign, expanding the Roman frontiers in Mesopotamia, North Africa and Britain. But before he could complete the conquest of Scotland, the Emperor Septimius Severus was struck down by illness and forced to withdraw to York. When the inhabitants of the island again revolted, he summoned the soldiers and ordered them to invade the rebels' country, killing everybody they met. When this had been done, and the Caledonians had joined the revolt of the Maetai, he began preparing to make war upon them in person. While he was thus engaged, his sickness carried him off on the 4th of February, and not without some help, they say, from Caracalla. At all events, before Severus died, he is reported to have spoken thus to his sons: "Be harmonious, enrich the soldiers, and scorn all other men." His eldest son, Caracalla, would follow two parts of this dictum. The soldiery got richer, and he gained a reputation for cruelty, but fraternal harmony would be beyond his reach.